Okay, so you're able to see the screen, right? I think we did a few problems on finding eigenvalues and eigenvectors. I think we did 3 problems. Can you tell me those matrices? The first matrix is, are you there?
2, 1, 0,
Yeah, 2 1 0
0, 2, 1,
0 2 1. Yes.
0, 0, 2.
Yes. What was the second matrix?
6 minus 2, 2.
Correct. 6 minus 2 2 minus 2
3 minus 1
minus 1
minus 1, 3.
2 2 minus 1 3. Am I right?
Yes.
And the third matrix is 8 minus 6
minus
2
6, minus 6, 7,
8 minus
minus
6
4.
2 minus 6 7 minus 4 2 minus 4 3.
3.
Is it okay? Now for the first matrix, what are the eigenvalues you got? 2 2. I think I made a wrong entry here. This is 0 0 2, no? Am I right? So these are the eigenvalues. For the second matrix, the eigenvalues are 2 2 8.
2, 8.
For the last matrix, the eigenvalues are 0 3
0, 3, 15.
15. And the distinct eigenvalues, how many distinct eigenvalues are there for the first matrix? Only one.
1.
Okay. Now for the second matrix, how many distinct eigenvalues are there?
2.
2 and 8. For the third matrix, how many distinct eigenvalues are there? 0, 3, 50. Am I right? Now can you tell me the independent eigenvectors corresponding to lambda equal to 2? Corresponding to lambda equal to 2, what are the eigenvectors you got? I think it is 1 0 0.
Yes.
Okay. For 2 and 8, for the second matrix for lambda equal to 2, what are the eigenvectors corresponding to lambda equal to 2? Can you tell me? How many independent eigenvectors you got? I think you got 2 independent eigenvectors, am I right? Minus 1,
0,
0,
2,
2. And what is the other one?
1,
1,
2, 0.
correct. 1 2 0. For lambda equal to 8, what is the independent eigenvector you got?
2 minus 1, 1.
2 minus 1 1. Okay. So 2 minus 1 1. And for third matrix, for each eigenvalue, you got one independent eigenvector. Can you tell me those independent eigenvectors? For lambda equal to 0,
1, 2,
1,
2.
2, 2.
1 2 2, correct. For the lambda equal to 3,
2, 1
minus
minus
2.
2, 1.
2 2 1 minus 2, correct. Last one,
2 minus 2.
Minus 2, 1.
2 minus 2 1. Is it okay? So this is what we had earlier. Okay, so when a matrix is given, we computed eigenvalues corresponding to each eigenvalue, you computed the independent eigenvectors. They will generate the remaining infinite set of linearly independent eigenvectors. You will be getting k1 x1 plus k2 x2, k3 x3 form. Okay, any multiple constant multiple of this is also will be eigenvector. Okay, now what is this all about? Now our present definition is about algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity. So what is called as algebraic multiplicity? What is geometric multiplicity? Okay, algebraic multiplicity exists for eigen and geometric multiplicity exists for eigenvalue only, but it depends upon the number of independent eigenvectors. So what is algebraic multiplicity? What are eigenvalues are basically? Eigenvalues are basically roots of the characteristic equation, right? And a characteristic equation is nothing but an nth degree polynomial equation. Okay, so when you are solving a polynomial equation, you will get roots which may be equal. Some of the roots may be equal, or some of the roots may be distinct. Okay, and how many times the root is occurring? What is that called? Suppose if the roots are like this, 2, 2, 2, then 2 occurred 3 times. So what is that 3 called in algebra? Corresponding to 2 as a root, that 3 is called
Eigenvalues.
in algebra. I am not asking about linear algebra. See, you got the roots as a 2, 2, 2. 2 occurred 3 times. So what is that 3 called corresponding to the root? Multiplicity. You remember? What is the multiplicity of the root 2? 3, because because it occurred 3 times. Okay, that multiplicity we call it as algebraic multiplicity. That multiplicity we call it as a algebraic multiplicity. Okay, how many times the root is occurring as okay, that is called algebraic multiplicity. So in this case, what is the algebraic multiplicity of 2?
3.
3. Okay, now what is for the second matrix? There are 2 distinct eigenvalues. Okay, what is the algebraic multiplicity of 2?
2.
How many times it appeared? 2 times. Correct. So what is the algebraic multiplicity of eigenvalue 8?
1.
1.
Because it occurred only 1 time. Is this clear? In this case, what are the algebraic multiplicities of the eigenvalues 0, 3, 15?
1.
1.
1, 1, 1. Because they are occurring only 1 time. Now, do you understand what is algebraic multiplicity? It is nothing but the multiplicity of the eigenvalue which is occurring as a root of the characteristic equation. Is it clear? Okay. Now, what is this? Geometric multiplicity? Okay. So, geometric multiplicity. Geometric multiplicity is nothing but the number of linearly independent eigenvectors corresponding to an eigenvalue. How many independent eigenvectors you are getting corresponding to that eigenvalue? That is going to be called the geometric multiplicity. So for eigenvalue 2, how many independent eigenvectors you got?
1.
Only one. So what is the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue 2? The geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue is the number of linearly independent eigenvectors corresponding to 2. That number you are seeing it as 1. Therefore, the geometric multiplicity of 2 is 1. Okay. Now, what is the geometric multiplicity of the eigenvalue 2 in the second matrix?
2.
How many independent eigenvectors you are seeing?
2.
2. Therefore, its geometric multiplicity is 2. Okay. Now, what about this? For the eigenvalue 8, how many independent eigenvectors? 1. Therefore, what is the geometric multiplicity?
1.
1. For the third matrix, what are the geometric multiplicity of each of the eigenvalue?
1.
1, 1,
1. 1.
1, 1, 1. Is that okay? Okay. Now this algebraic multiplicity is denoted with small letter t. This algebraic multiplicity is denoted with the small letter t, and this algebraic multiplicity, this geometric multiplicity is denoted with the small letter s. I'll just write like this only. You understand this as lowercase. Yes. Okay. Now, what do you see in all these three cases? Now, by observing this algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity, can you observe any relation? Can you find any relation? In the first case, which one is bigger, algebraic or geometric?
Algebraic.
Algebraic. Here, both are
Equal.
equal. Both are equal. Here also, both are equal, right? Now you see, this algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity exist for each eigenvalue. For each eigenvalue, there is one algebraic multiplicity, there is one geometric multiplicity. For each eigenvalue, there is one algebraic multiplicity, there is one corresponding geometric multiplicity. Okay. So in all these cases, you observed that geometric multiplicity is less than or equal to algebraic multiplicity. Did you see? Okay. So geometric multiplicity cannot exceed algebraic multiplicity. Geometric multiplicity cannot exceed algebraic multiplicity. Okay. So that is one important result, observation. And one more thing, if the geometric multiplicity is less than, okay, if some of the eigenvalues are same, if some of the eigenvalues are same, how many independent eigenvectors you got? For the first matrix, how many independent eigenvectors you got?
1,
Only one. But what is the order of the matrix? 3.
3.
Order of the matrix is 3, but you got only one independent eigenvector. Whereas here, order of the matrix is 3. How many independent eigenvectors you got?
3.
3. Do you agree? Because these two are linearly independent. These two are linearly independent. Can you tell the reason? These two are linearly independent. These two are also linearly independent. Why these two linearly independent? These two linearly independent. I told you to go through the properties. What was the last property I gave? The eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues of a matrix are linearly independent. Did I give this statement or not? And you said you will try the proof of this statement. Did you note this statement? Hello.
Yes.
So these two are eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues. Therefore, these two are linearly independent. These two are corresponding to distinct eigenvalues. Therefore, these two are linearly independent. X1, X2 independent, X1, X3 independent, X2, X3 independent. Therefore, X1, X2, X3 will be linearly independent. How many independent eigenvectors you got? 3 altogether. Is that okay? So, when sum of the eigenvalues are equal, the number of independent vectors may be equal to n, may be equal to n, may be less than n also. But in which case, definitely you will get in which case you are sure that there will be n linearly independent eigenvectors? Just observe.
When algebraic multiplicity is equal to geometric multiplicity.
When all, yeah, that is correct. When algebraic multiplicity is equal to geometric multiplicity, definitely we will get n linearly independent eigenvectors, right? That is one important observation. Other one, if you observe that all are distinct, if all the eigenvalues are distinct, okay, and then then algebraic multiplicity of each eigenvalue is 1, and geometric multiplicity cannot exceed algebraic multiplicity, and the minimum value of geometric multiplicity is 1, because when you are solving the system of homogeneous system of linear equations, definitely you will get one non-zero vector, at least one non-zero vector you will get. That means you are sure that at least one independent eigenvector you will get. That means the minimum value of geometric multiplicity is 1. When the algebraic multiplicity is also 1, and when geometric multiplicity cannot exceed algebraic multiplicity, then geometric multiplicity also has to be equal to 1. Therefore, 1 equal to 1, 1 equal to 1, 1 equal to 1 means when you will get definitely n independent eigenvectors. Okay, so when all the eigenvalues are distinct, okay, in that case you are very much sure that you will get n linearly independent eigenvectors. But when some of the eigenvalues are same, you may get n independent eigenvectors, or you may get less than n independent eigenvectors. You are not sure unless you compare geometric multiplicity with the corresponding algebraic multiplicity. Okay, see, you can compare. See, if you want to compare algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity, you need to find out the eigenvectors. Then only you will be able to compare, no, am equal to gm or not. Whereas in this case, I don't need to find out these eigenvectors to say that it is going to have n linear independent vectors, because these are all distinct eigenvalues, because all eigenvalues are distinct, because algebraic multiplicity of each eigenvalue is 1. Therefore, I will know that before computing the eigenvectors, I will definitely know that it is going to be only 1, 1, 1 eigenvectors. Therefore, you are going to get n linearly independent eigenvectors. Is this clear to all of you? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let us write this definition in words. Okay? What is algebraic multiplicity? Write down in your notes. Did you copy this table in your notes? Copied this
No,
table in
sir.
your notes. Okay? So right. So algebraic multiplicity. Okay, it is denoted with the S. S or T? I said T, right? So what is this? Okay. So the algebraic multiplicity of an eigenvalue is the multiplicity of the eigenvalue as a root of the characteristic equation. Root of the characteristic equation. It is denoted by small letter t. Okay. And what is the geometric multiplicity? Geometric multiplicity of an eigenvalue is the number of linearly independent eigenvectors corresponding to that eigenvalue. It is yes. Okay, so what is your observation? Note. Okay, S is less than or equals to. S is always less than or equals to T. S is always less than or equal to T. AM is always less than or equal to GM. AM less than or equals to, sorry, GM less than or equal to AM. Okay, so that's the first observation. What is the second observation? If all the eigenvalues are distinct, then AM equal to GM equal to 1 for each eigenvalue. In that case, the matrix will have n linearly independent eigenvectors. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. So, what was the next? Are you there? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Right. So when all the eigenvalues are distinct, then algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity for each eigenvalue. Therefore, there will be n linear independent eigenvectors. And what is the next one? If AM equal to GM, for each eigenvalue, then the matrix will have n linearly independent eigenvectors. Independent. The fact okay, we'll be using this fact in coming concepts. Shall I proceed? Shall I? Shall I go to the next page? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, put the side heading diagonalization. Side heading diagonalization. diagonalization. Write down one definition. A definition of similar matrices. Similar matrices. A matrix, write down the definition. Matrix A is said to be similar to a matrix B if there exists a non-singular matrix B such that okay, B equal to such that B equal to P inverse AB, such that B equal to P inverse AB. Okay. B equal to P inverse AB. Whenever you find a non-singular matrix satisfying this condition, we say that the two matrices are similar. What is the notation we write? We give notation. You may write like this. Previously I wrote one symbol. What is this symbol called?
Equivalent.
Equivalent. This symbol we shall call it as similarity. Okay. So now next write one more definition. Okay. Diagonalizable matrix. Okay. A matrix is said to be diagonalizable if it is similar to a diagonal matrix. Similar to a diagonal matrix. What do you mean by that? It is similar to a diagonal matrix. That means what? That is a matrix A is said to be will be diagonalizable if there exists a diagonal matrix. Or you may write like this: if there exists a non-singular diagonal matrix D. Sorry, I think there exists a non-singular matrix P. P says that D equal to P inverse AB. Okay. Do you agree? Diagonal. What do you mean by diagonalizable matrix? If it is similar to a a diagonal matrix. Okay. So if I say, that means what, if A is similar to D, then A is said to be diagonalizable. What do you mean by A similar to D? That means there should exist a non-singular matrix. There should be a non-singular matrix. There should be a non-singular matrix. There should be a non-singular matrix P such that D equal to P inverse AB. Okay. So A is diagonalizable. So A is diagonalizable. If and only if A is similar to a diagonal matrix. That is if and only if, okay, A equal to that is if and only if D equal to, or I will write like this, P inverse A equal to D, okay, for some non-singular matrix, for some let P not for some non-singular matrix. And what is this D called? D is a, by default D means diagonal matrix. Okay, now did you copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the point is, if I give you some matrix, it can be some matrix, it can be some 3 by 3 matrix or 4 by 4 matrix. If I give you some matrix like this, how do you justify, how do you identify whether this is diagonalizable or not? I am giving you some matrix. How do you test whether it is diagonalizable or not? What the definition says, if there exists a
Singular,
non-singular matrix P
non-singular.
such that, if it says, the definition says, if there exists a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP equal to D. But how do you know whether there exists such a non-singular matrix P satisfying this condition? Will you take some non-singular matrix P, compute P inverse, then find out P inverse AP, and test whether it is diagonal matrix or not, it is in diagonal form or not? If it is not diagonal form, take other non-singular matrix, compute P inverse, then find out P inverse AP, not diagonal. Will you do this trial and error? Because the definition says, if there exists, but how do you know whether there exists such a matrix or not? Did you realize? A will be diagonalizable if there exists a matrix P satisfying this condition. But how do we know there will exist such a matrix P satisfying this condition or not? Can you ensure that there will exist a matrix for a given matrix A satisfying this condition, or can you say that there will not exist such a matrix satisfying this condition? Did you catch my point? Okay, so definition is there, but it may not be useful for us to identify whether a given matrix is diagonalizable or not. So we should have an alternate way to test whether a given matrix is diagonalizable or not. Is that okay? So for that we have a theorem. Write down that theorem. The result. Okay. First one, matrix is diagonalizable and only it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Matrix is diagonalizable if and only if it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Now, did you understand the connection between diagonalization and the previous concept, algebraic multiplicity and geometric multiplicity?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it will have n linearly independent vectors? If and only if previously we identified when it will have n linearly independent eigenvectors. In
Distinct
am equal to
Distinct.
distinct. Eigenvalues may be distinct or may not be distinct. But whenever as long as am equal to gm for each eigenvalue, whether they are distinct or some of the eigenvalues are same, it always going to have n linearly independent eigenvectors. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can say like this: a matrix is diagonalizable if and only if am equal to algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity, the corresponding geometric multiplicity for each eigenvalue. Eigenvalue of the matrix for each of the matrix. Third one. Now you can say this. If I say if all the eigenvalues of a matrix are distinct, then if all the eigenvalues of a matrix are distinct, then what can we say about diagonalization? Then
That matrix is diagonalizable.
yes, then the matrix is diagonalizable. Okay, what is the next point? If some of the eigenvalues of the matrix are equal, then what can you say about diagonalization? Can you say that it is diagonalizable or not diagonalizable? We cannot say, right? In one case, some of the eigenvalues are equal. You are having 3 independent eigenvectors which is equal to order, so it is diagonalizable. Whereas in this case, some of the eigenvalues are equal, but the number of independent vectors is not equal to n. So, what can you say about diagonalization? Is it diagonalizable? You should have 3 independent eigenvectors for a matrix to be diagonalizable. In this case, you are having only 1 independent eigenvectors. Is this diagonalizable?
No.
No. Okay. So when all the eigenvalues are distinct, there will be n independent eigenvector. Therefore, it is always diagonalizable. But if some of the eigenvalues are same, the matrix may be diagonalizable or may not be diagonalizable. Okay, you cannot say directly. Okay, so if some of the eigenvalues are same, equal, then the matrix may or may not be diagonalized. Is this clear to all of you? First three statements are if and only if conditions. Okay, the last one is only if condition, if then condition. If then condition. See, if then path. So this is a implicative statement. The previous three are bi-implicative statement, if and only if conditions. Okay, only first two are bi-implicative, third and fourth are implicative statement, right? Okay, so you may add one more column here. You may add one more column and write it as a note. A is not diagonalizable. A is diagonalizable. Diagonalizable. Okay, or you may write here. You add one more column. Total number of independent eigenvectors. Add one more column. After geometric multiplicity, you add one more column. Total number of linearly independent eigenvectors. How many for the first matrix? 1. Second matrix? 2 plus 1? 3. For the third matrix, 1 plus 1 plus 1? 3. After writing that column, you add one more column and put your comment on diagonalization. What was your first comment for the first? What was your comment for the first matrix? Is it diagonalizable? It is not diagonalizable. For the first matrix is not diagonalizable because it is having only one independent eigenvectors. For the second and third matrices, your comment must be the matrix is diagonalizable. Okay, so when yes, so when you put is the matrix diagonalizable, answer for the first matrix is no. For the remaining two matrices is yes and yes. Is this clear? Okay. Shall I proceed? Okay, now you take one problem. Test. Okay. Test. Test whether the following matrices are diagonalizable. Okay. If diagonalizable, then find the corresponding model and spectral matrices. Diagonalizable, find the corresponding model and spectral matrices. What are these model and spectral matrices?
P inverse and P?
I'll tell you. You somebody said? Here, okay, you add one more comment. In that case, okay, we may write like this. In that case, P is called a model matrix and D is called the matrix. D is called the spectral matrix. Okay, so whenever you showed that P inverse A equal to D, if you can find P such that P inverse A equal to D, then the non-singular matrix P is called model matrix and the diagonal matrix D is called the spectral matrix. Now, before proceeding further, I have a question. What could be the elements of D? Can you tell me? Elements of D, what are the diagonal elements of D? What could be the diagonal elements of D? Because non-diagonal elements will be 0 in a diagonal matrix. What could be diagonal elements of the diagonal matrix? Which is a spectral matrix.
Okay.
Very good. Eigenvalues of A. How do you justify it?
A and P inverse AP have same again.
Yeah, A and P inverse AP will have same eigenvalues. That is the result we proved. In this case, P inverse AP is nothing but D. Therefore, A and D will have same eigenvalues. If A and B have same eigenvalues, how can you say that those eigenvalues will be the diagonal elements of D?
Because it's a diagonal matrix.
Yeah, if it is diagonal matrix,
Then the principal diagonal elements are the eigenvalues.
yeah, every diagonal matrix is nothing but a triangular matrix. The eigenvalues of a triangular matrix are nothing but its diagonal elements. Therefore, okay, so all the diagonal elements has to be the eigenvalues. Okay, so those eigenvalues of D are nothing but the eigenvalues of A. Therefore, so after finding P inverse AP, you will get a diagonal matrix. Ensure that all the elements that you got in D are actually the eigenvalues of A. If any diagonal element is not an eigenvalue of A, that means what? You did somewhere mistake. Do you understand? Okay, so final resultant matrix D should contain only the eigenvalues of A, which are in the diagonal. Okay, so take the first problem. What could be the first problem? First one is this one only. So you already answered the first. If I give the question like this, if I give the matrix like this, then what is your conclusion? If I give this first matrix, what is your conclusion? You will find out eigenvalues and the corresponding eigenvectors. And is it diagonalizable or not? It is not diagonalizable. Okay, so first question is you can take that as. Second one we'll see how to diagonalize the second matrix, because first one is not diagonalizable. We should take the second matrix because these matrices are readily available. To save time, I shall take the matrix which we done already. Okay, so copy this matrix. A equals to 6. Can you tell me? A equal to 6 minus 2 2, 6 minus 2 2, minus 2 3, minus 2 3, minus 1, 2 minus 1 3, 2 minus 1 3. I will be writing only the steps, already important steps. Okay, so you just do remaining problems in a similar way. I will be doing some more problems in the next class. The characteristic equation. What is the characteristic equation?
Det of A minus lambda equals to 0.
Equal to 0. So what is that equation? Can you tell me?
Lambda cube.
lambda cube
minus 12 lambda square
12 lambda square plus 36
plus
lambda
36 lambda
minus
minus
32
13 equals to 0.
minus 32
Minus 32.
equal to 0. So from this lambda equal to 228 are the eigenvalues. At this stage, can you say that the matrix is diagonalizable when you are doing the computation, actual computation? At this stage, can you say the matrix is diagonalizable? No,
No.
because we don't know, because some of the eigenvalues are same, matrix may or may not be diagonalizable. We are not sure unless we compute the eigenvectors. Okay. So what is the next case? Okay. Eigenvectors corresponding to, first one is what? Lambda equals to 2. Okay, solve the equation a minus 2i into x equal to 0. So when you solve this equation, what do you get? X equal to some k1 into can you tell me that matrix? K1 into minus 102 am I right? Plus k2 into 120. Is this what you got? Okay. Similarly, when you solve the second set, you will get x equal to k3 into 2 minus 1 1, which is in the form k3 x3. Now this is up to this is all about finding eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Okay. Now you got 3 independent eigenvectors, therefore the matrix is diagonalizable. Okay. Okay. Since we have 3 LID linearly independent eigenvectors of A, which is equal to the order of the matrix A is diagonalizable. Now how do you find out P? You construct a matrix P like this. Okay, define P equal to, you put those vectors in a column form x1, x2, x3. Don't put commas. What is x1? Minus 1 0 2. Next 1 2 0. Next 2 minus 1 1. 2 minus 1 1. Okay. Now you note that P will be non-singular because the column vectors are linearly independent, means the matrix is going to be non-singular. Now compute P inverse. Okay. You can verify that get P is not equal to 0 and compute P inverse. Show that P inverse AP equal to, compute P inverse AP, show that P equal to diagonal matrix. What could be the diagonal matrix in this case? What order I wrote? I wrote x1, x2. I wrote x1, x2. x1, x2 corresponding to 2. x3 corresponding to 8. And remaining elements are going to be zeros. So these elements, this order This order depends upon the way you arrange the column vectors x1, x2, x3. Is it clear? So it is left as an exercise for you. In the next class, we will see some more problems on diagonalization. Okay, you just compute P inverse and compute P inverse AP. See that it is a diagonal matrix like this. Is this clear? Any doubts?